Vast and often perilous theater of the natural world, survival is the ultimate prize. For countless creatures, life is a delicate balance, a constant struggle against predators, injury, and the unforgiving elements. Yet nature, in its infinite ingenuity, has devised some truly astonishing solutions to the problem of staying alive. One of the most remarkable of these is the power of regeneration. This is not merely healing, it is the biological alchemy of rebuilding, the extraordinary ability to regrow what has been lost. It is a superpower, hidden within the very cells of certain animals, allowing them to perform feats that seem to defy the fundamental rules of life and death. Imagine losing a limb, an organ, or even a part of your brain, only to have it grow back, perfectly formed and fully functional. For us, this remains the stuff of science fiction, but for some inhabitants of our planet, it is a simple, biological reality. From the murky depths of freshwater lakes to the vibrant chaos of coral reefs, creatures great and small possess this incredible capacity. They can replace severed arms, regenerate damaged hearts, and in some cases, even clone their entire bodies from a single severed piece. This process is a profound testament to the resilience and adaptability of life on Earth. So, how is this possible? What secrets are locked away in the genetic code of these remarkable animals? Today, I invite you to join me on a journey to explore this very phenomenon. We will travel across the globe, peering into the hidden lives of 12 incredible creatures that have mastered the art of regeneration. We will witness firsthand the near-magical processes that allow them to overcome catastrophic injuries and be reborn time and time again. Prepare to be amazed by the true superheroes of the animal kingdom. Our journey begins in the cool, quiet waters of ancient lakes near Mexico City, the home of a truly extraordinary creature, the axolotl. This curious amphibian, with its feathery external gills and a seemingly perpetual smile, holds one of the most profound secrets of regeneration. Unlike most amphibians that undergo metamorphosis, the axolotl remains in its larval state for its entire life, a phenomenon known as neoteny. It is this eternal youthfulness that seems to be the key to its incredible powers. Should an axolotl lose a leg to a hungry fish or a curious bird, it is of little consequence. Within weeks, a new limb begins to bud, growing with astonishing precision, complete with bone, muscle, nerves, and skin. But its abilities extend far beyond just regrowing limbs. The axolotl's mastery over its own biology is almost absolute. It can mend a severed spinal cord, patching the vital connection between its brain and body without forming any scar tissue, restoring full movement. Even more remarkably, it can regenerate damaged portions of its own heart, and almost unbelievably, parts of its brain. If a section of its brain is removed, the axolotl can regrow the lost tissue, restoring the lost functions. It is a feat of biological engineering that continues to baffle and inspire scientists, offering a glimpse into a potential future for human medicine. We now travel from the freshwater lakes to the vast saline expanse of the world's oceans, to find our next master of renewal clinging to the rocks and seabeds. The starfish, or sea star, is an icon of the marine world, but its familiar five-armed shape belies a truly alien capacity for regeneration. For a starfish, the loss of an arm is a common occupational hazard, often sacrificed to a predator in a desperate bid for escape. But this is not a permanent loss. The starfish can simply grow a new one. The stump heals, and slowly, a new arm, identical to the one that was lost, extends outwards, restoring the animal's perfect symmetry. This in itself is remarkable. But for some species of starfish, the story becomes even more incredible. The severed arm, provided it contains a small portion of the central disc of the starfish's body, can embark on its own journey of creation. It is a slow, methodical process, but over many months, this single, lonely arm will begin to grow. It will sprout a new central disc, and from that disc, new arms will emerge, one by one. Eventually, a complete, genetically identical twin of the original starfish is formed. It is a form of asexual reproduction born from near-fatal injury, a testament to life's unyielding drive to persist, creating a whole new being from just a fragment of the old. We now shrink our focus, down to the microscopic world of freshwater ponds and streams, to meet a creature whose regenerative abilities are perhaps the most extreme on the planet. This is the planarian, a simple, unassuming flatworm. It glides over submerged leaves and stones, seemingly insignificant. But if you were to take a blade and slice this tiny animal into pieces, you would not be ending its life. Instead, you would be multiplying it. Each and every fragment, no matter how small, has the capacity to regrow into a complete new worm. A piece from the tail will grow a new head, and a piece from the head will grow a new tail. This astonishing feat is made possible by a remarkable population of stem cells called neoblasts that are distributed throughout the planarian's body. These cells are pluripotent, meaning they can become any type of cell the worm needs. When the worm is cut, these neoblasts migrate to the wound site and begin the process of rebuilding. They can regenerate a fully functional brain, complete with the memories of the original worm. Experiments have shown that if a planarian is trained to navigate a simple maze and is then decapitated, the new head that grows back will retain that memory. It is a creature that truly defies our understanding of individuality and life itself. Returning to the world of vertebrates, we find another amphibian with a profound gift for regeneration, the salamander. A close relative of the axolotl, these secretive creatures of the forest floor share a similar, though slightly less extreme, set of regenerative skills. Like many lizards, a salamander can shed its tail to escape a predator's grasp, a process known as autotomy. But unlike lizards, which regrow a cartilaginous rod, the salamander regrows a perfect replica of the original tail, complete with vertebrae, nerves, and muscle. It is a flawless reconstruction that leaves no trace of the initial trauma. Their abilities, however, are not confined to their tails. Much like the axolotl, a salamander can regrow entire limbs from the stump of an amputation. Over a period of weeks, a blastoma, a mass of undifferentiated cells, forms at the wound site. This cluster of cells then orchestrates a developmental symphony, rebuilding the complex architecture of the limb with incredible accuracy. But perhaps most impressively, salamanders can also repair and regenerate parts of their most vital organs. They can mend damaged sections of their hearts, and even regenerate parts of their eyes, including the lens and retina, restoring their sight. This makes them a key focus for scientists hoping to unlock these abilities for ourselves. We descend once more beneath the waves to the soft sediments of the ocean floor, where a peculiar animal employs a truly bizarre and drastic form of regeneration as its primary defense. The sea cucumber, a slow-moving, sausage-shaped relative of the starfish, may seem vulnerable. When threatened by a predator, such as a crab or a large fish, it resorts to a startling tactic. It violently contracts its body wall and expels a large portion of its internal organs, its respiratory structures, its digestive tract, and its gonads, out through its anus. This tangled, sticky mass serves to confuse and entangle the would-be attacker, allowing the sea cucumber to crawl away to safety. This act, known as evisceration, would be fatal for almost any other animal. But for the sea cucumber, it is merely a temporary inconvenience. Once it has found a safe place to hide, it begins the slow and energy-intensive process of rebuilding itself from the inside out. Over the course of several weeks to a few months, it will regrow its entire set of internal organs from just a few remaining tissues. It is an almost unbelievable survival strategy, sacrificing the very machinery of life in order to live another day, confident in its innate power to build it all back again. It is one of the most extreme examples of regeneration in the entire animal kingdom. Our next subject is small, striped, and a common sight in home aquariums around the world. But the humble zebrafish holds a regenerative secret that is of immense interest to human health. This tiny fish, native to the freshwater streams of the Himalayan region, possesses a remarkable ability to repair its own heart. In humans, a heart attack causes irreversible damage. The muscle tissue dies and is replaced by scar tissue, which cannot contract, permanently weakening the heart. The zebrafish, however, has a different solution. If up to 20% of its heart's ventricle is removed, the fish doesn't panic. The remaining heart muscle cells, known as cardiomyocytes, are stimulated into action. They de-differentiate, reverting to a more stem cell-like state, and begin to proliferate, dividing and multiplying to replace the tissue that was lost. Crucially, this process happens without the formation of any scar tissue. Within 2 months, the zebrafish's heart is completely healed, restored to its original size and function, beating as strongly as it did before the injury. This scar-free healing is the holy grail for cardiac research. And by studying the genes and pathways that control this process in zebrafish, scientists hope to one day find a way to persuade human hearts to do the same. High in the canopies of the Central and South American rainforests, a familiar reptile demonstrates a classic example of regeneration. The green iguana, a large, impressive lizard, spends its days basking in the sun, always alert to danger from above or below. If caught by a predator, the iguana has an effective escape plan. Like many smaller lizards, it can detach its long, whip-like tail. Special fracture planes in the vertebrae of its tail allow it to break off easily, wriggling and thrashing on the ground. This provides a vital distraction, allowing the iguana to make a swift escape while the predator is preoccupied with the disembodied tail. Losing such a significant part of its body, which can be up to half its total length, is a serious matter. The tail is used for balance when climbing, for propulsion when swimming, and as a defensive whip. Fortunately, the loss is not permanent. Over the following months, a new tail begins to grow from the stump. This new tail is not a perfect copy. It is supported by a rod of cartilage rather than bone, and the scales may have a different pattern. Nevertheless, it is a fully functional replacement, restoring the iguana's balance and providing it with a weapon for future encounters. It is a brilliant, life-saving adaptation seen across the lizard world. Not all regeneration is a response to injury. In the temperate forests and grasslands of the Northern Hemisphere, we witness a spectacular example of programmed annual regeneration. Here, male deer, such as the elk and the red deer, engage in a cycle of growth and loss that is unparalleled among mammals. Their antlers, which are not horns but true bone structures, are shed and regrown every single year. After the breeding season, a drop in testosterone levels causes a layer of cells at the base of the antler, the pedicle, to weaken. The majestic antlers, which have served their purpose in battles for dominance, simply fall off. Almost immediately, the process of renewal begins. The wound on the pedicle heals, and a new antler starts to grow, covered in a soft, blood vessel-rich skin known as velvet. Fueled by a complex interplay of hormones, the antlers grow at an astonishing rate, up to an inch a day for some species, making it one of the fastest-growing tissues in the animal kingdom. Over the summer, the bone solidifies, the blood supply in the velvet is cut off, and the deer rubs it away to reveal the hard, polished bone beneath, ready for the next season's contests. This annual cycle of growing an enormous, complex, bony structure is a powerful display of mammalian regeneration. In the arid deserts of Africa and the Middle East, a small rodent has evolved a regenerative capability that is unique among mammals. The spiny mouse, named for the stiff, bristle-like hairs on its back, has incredibly fragile skin. If caught by a predator, large patches of its skin can tear away with remarkable ease, allowing the mouse to slip from the predator's grasp and escape. While other mammals would be left with a grievous, open wound prone to infection and scarring, the spiny mouse has a very different response. It is a master of scar-free healing. Instead of forming a patch of scar tissue, the spiny mouse is able to completely regenerate the lost skin. It rebuilds all the complex layers, the dermis, the epidermis, and even the structures within it. Remarkably, it can regrow hair follicles, sweat glands, and even the cartilage in its ears, something no other mammal is known to do so completely. Researchers have found that the genes involved are similar to those used by salamanders to regrow limbs. The spiny mouse provides a tantalizing mammalian model, suggesting that the genetic toolkit for more complex regeneration may lie dormant within all mammals, including ourselves, just waiting to be reactivated. So now let's revisit the world of worms, but this time we're looking at a broader group, the magnificent flatworms, which includes those planarians we talked about earlier. This group really showcases the power of regeneration in its most fundamental form. You know, many species within this phylum have these same incredible abilities, all thanks to a population of really powerful stem cells. Their simple body plan, without those complex circulatory and respiratory systems, actually seems to allow for this amazing biological plasticity. If a flatworm gets fragmented, whether by accident or maybe by a predator, well, that's often not the end for it. Each piece can actually become a new individual. It's honestly a marvel of cellular organization. When a fragment is created, it has to figure out which end is the head and which is the tail. there's this really complex cascade of genetic signals that establishes this polarity, making sure a head with a brain and eyes grows at one end and a tail forms at the other. Then, those stem cells differentiate to form all the necessary organs and tissues in the right places. It's a process of complete bodily reconstruction, turning what could be a lethal event into an opportunity for reproduction. For these simple worms, the line between survival and propagation is just beautifully and inextricably blurred. The life of an amphibian is, well, one of transformation. And within this transformation, we find another fascinating story of regeneration. The African clawed frog, when it's an adult, has pretty limited regenerative abilities, much like other frogs. It can heal wounds, but it can't regrow a lost limb. But its story is really different during its larval stage. As a tadpole, swimming around in the ponds and streams of sub-Saharan Africa, it actually has a remarkable capacity for renewal. If a predator bites off the tadpole's long, finned tail, it's not a fatal blow. The tadpole is able to regrow its tail completely, including the spinal cord, muscle, and fin tissue. This ability is so crucial for its survival, since the tail is its main way to move and escape danger. Even more impressively, at certain early stages of development, the tadpole can also regenerate its limbs. This ability, though, is lost as it undergoes metamorphosis into a frog, a process that seems to switch off the genetic pathways responsible for such complex regeneration. Scientists are really studying this off switch closely, hoping that if they can figure out how to turn it back on, they might be able to induce limb regeneration in adult frogs, and maybe, one day, in other animals as well. Our final stop takes us to freshwater rivers and lakes, where we meet a common yet truly remarkable armored invertebrate. The crayfish, which is actually a close relative of the lobster, is a pretty formidable crustacean, equipped with powerful claws for defense, foraging, and mating displays. These claws, along with its walking legs, are vital for survival, but they're also pretty vulnerable. In a territorial dispute with another crayfish, or during an encounter with a predator like a large fish or an otter, a crayfish might lose a limb. It can even choose to shed a limb deliberately if it's trapped or injured, a process called autotomy. The loss of a claw or leg sets off a regenerative process inside its hard exoskeleton. At the site of the break, a membrane forms to seal the wound and prevent bleeding. Beneath this seal, a small limb bud, encased in a soft cuticle, begins to grow. This new limb develops in a folded, compressed state within its protective casing. When the crayfish next molts, shedding its old, tight exoskeleton to grow larger, the new regenerated limb is unfurled. It might be smaller than the original at first, but with each subsequent molt, it gets bigger, until it's back to its full size and strength. It's a slow but steady process of renewal, all happening beneath a suit of armor. From the microscopic planarian rebuilding its own brain, to the mighty deer regrowing its crown of bone, the power of regeneration is honestly one of nature's most awe-inspiring spectacles. We've seen how animals all over the globe have harnessed this ability to survive catastrophic injuries, to outwit predators, and even to reproduce. It's not magic, it's biology at its most brilliant and resilient. Each of these creatures holds a piece of a complex puzzle, a genetic blueprint for renewal that's been honed over millions of years of evolution. Their abilities challenge our own biological limitations and, honestly, offer profound hope for the future of medicine. The stories of these 12 animals are a powerful reminder of the sheer ingenuity and tenacity of life on our planet. The natural world is just filled with such wonders, often hidden in plain sight, waiting to be discovered. The capacity to mend, to rebuild, and to begin anew is a fundamental theme in the grand narrative of life, and these creatures are its most accomplished storytellers. As we continue to study them, we're not just learning about their biology, we're learning about the very potential of life itself, a potential that may one day help us to heal in ways we can currently only dream of. The diversity of these regenerative gifts is truly staggering. From the starfish to the spiny mouse, each has a unique tale of survival. So, which of these animals surprised you the most? Was it the sea cucumber's drastic defense, or maybe the axolotl's ability to mend its own brain? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. I would really love to hear what amazed you. And if you want to keep exploring the incredible secrets of the animal kingdom with me, please consider subscribing and turning on notifications for more journeys into our remarkable living world.